Hooray for Hollywood! Hello there. I am Stan the Movie Man, and this is your WIMZ.com movie review. Saw two for you this week, as I was out last week with a bit of a cold. The two I saw this week were Haywire, the winner of last week's movie poll, and this week's movie poll winner, The Grey. Let's start with Haywire, last week's winner. It stars Gina Carano, Michael Douglas, Michael Fassbinder, also Ewan McGregor, and Bill Paxton. It is the story of a woman named Mallory, who is played by Gina Carano. She works for a private security firm that works contract jobs for the CIA. What these jobs entail usually is extracting people out of dangerous situations or taking care of other business. During one of these missions, she is sold out by the company she works for. Ewan McGregor is her boss and former lover named Kenneth, and sends her on a mission to Dublin, Ireland, where her partner in the mission attacks her and tries to kill her. For the rest of the film, she's on the run from her former employees with very few resources other than her extraordinary ability to fight and her desire to figure out why she's being chased and the purpose of it all. The fight scenes in this movie are spectacular. Carano, of course, used to be a championship MMA fighter, and I doubt very many of the things she does in the film are things she used in her fighting career, but the fights are choreographed beautifully, and they're often shot at a distance where you can see what's happening. The camera is not so close and the edits aren't so fast that you can't make out the action that's going on. So this film is excellent when it comes to these hand-to-hand fights. Where the movie kind of falls apart a little bit is in the story. She works for this shadowy art organization that works for another shadowy organization. And the reason for her betrayal is, while it's explained near the film's end, quite frankly, it doesn't make a huge amount of sense. I didn't quite pick up on the purpose of it. So from a story point of view, it's not that good. It's kind of weak. But from an action point of view, it's spectacular. I'm going to give it 3 guitars. It's very good for the fights. The story is just kind of incomprehensible. The next film is The Grey, starring Liam Neeson. He works for an oil company as a hired gun. He works in Alaska at an oil rig, and he protects the workers from wolves and other large predatory animals that come around them. On the flight back home with a group of oil rig workers, their plane crashes, and only 7 of them survive, and they are being stalked by a group of gray wolves. And it's the story of their attempt to stay one step ahead of the pack and to, find some help and get rescued. Wow, this film is spectacular. It is quite brilliant. It manages to be shot outdoors, but is at the same time claustrophobic. The cold, the snow, the wolves, all relentlessly closing in on this group of men, and it builds a level of tension that is hard to express until you go see the film yourself. It is very, very good. Now, it's a bit cliched in places, like there's the one survivor who's the renegade who doesn't want to do what Liam Neeson's character, is suggesting they do, even though he, because of his job, is an expert on wolves. Of course, there is the scene where he gets his comeuppance and realizes that Neeson's character has been right all along. So it's a little predictable in its story structure, but that's about the only thing wrong with it. It is really a tense film. The landscapes are spectacularly beautiful, and you really feel the cold because it looks like they were really freezing most of the time. Although I'll have to say, the stuff they stuck on their faces that was supposed to be stuck on snow and frost, it looked like mashed potatoes had just been smeared on their faces. That part was a little weak as well, but very small quibble. It is a terrific film and well worth your time. I'm giving it 5 guitars. Go to WIMZ.com to read my complete reviews, as well as to vote on the movie that I'll see next time. If you have any questions, feel free to send them to me at StanTheMovieMan@att.net. You can also follow me on Twitter at MovieManStan. Till next time, later, Tater. Oh, and by the way,